Oh, a fire at an extended stay hotel in Springfield Township has brought to light the ongoing fight over code violations at that complex. Our I-team looking into the Siegel Suites and the issues, the problems investigators say need to be fixed. 13 Action News anchor Lily Lowndes has that story. It's new tonight.
One resident told me she was shocked and had no idea about the code violations at the Siegel Select. I poured through pages and pages of inspection reports that show unresolved issues and potential looming fines.
Oh, it's terrible.
Traveling nurse Trish Matriciano used to stay on a top floor of the Siegel Select's Building 9, also known as the Siegel Suites. That is, until an early morning fire broke out in her neighbor's unit while Matriciano was at work.
Oh my God, I was devastated. I had to leave my patients and I came home.
She came home to find her efficiency apartment at the extended stay hotel in Springfield Township destroyed. Fire officials telling her the Siegel Suites was already on their radar before the fire.
Come find out, I didn't know there was fire codes in the building. The fire chief just told me.
Back in October 2025, state fire inspectors found 11 different code violations, including employees not being trained in fire emergency procedures, missing smoke alarms, and structural issues like rotting stairs and balconies. Most of the violations were found to be corrected during a re-inspection in March. But some attempted corrections for the balconies and stairs were found to be done without proper approved permits or plans. And the Lucas County Building Department issued a stop work order. On March 4th, owners and representatives of Siegel Select were cited by the Springfield Township Fire Department for the unresolved structural issues. Township officials say if not corrected within 30 days, there would be a penalty of $1,000 per day. In May and June, Siegel Select representatives' plans for a fix were found to be incomplete and/or contain violations, with possible daily financial penalties cited again. Representatives with Siegel Select have appealed. They are slated to have a hearing in August. As for Matriciano, she was offered a new unit at the Siegel Suites, but was not thrilled about staying.
Start all over again somewhere.
She hopes to find somewhere new. The executive vice president for the company that owns the Siegel Suites told me in a statement that they are actively working with the building department to, quote, close out permitting on this matter. He said they cannot comment further on this pending process. Lily Lowndes, 13 Action News.